to sell this, one sweet and not one sweet, to have the punch, but some of them supposed to be sweet, and the sweet one make the unsweet one sweet. Subhanallah. This means ripe. That's mean ripe. واختلفوا, and that is for one punch in 1 year. There is no problem to sell it like this, no problem. But the disagreement, if there is more than once per year, more than once per year, sometimes once, sometimes twice, in a palm tree twice, but some other fruits and some other vegetables, sometimes 3 or 4 times in 1 year, every season. That means 4 seasons you have 4 times, subhanallah. And now they have it also different with they put under a plastic, and the plastic make it completely change the temperature. And so, subhanallah, just like Maryam alayhi salam, you find the winter fruit in the summer and the summer fruit in the winter. So now we can see this. You go to the supermarket, you'll find watermelon for the whole year, not only in the summer watermelon. You'll find the cucumber in the whole entire year, and so on. So now, what about this? If more than one times in per year is growing, the vegetable or the fruit growing in 1 year. تحصيل مذهب مالك رحمه الله, the most of the opinion in this book is مذهب مالك رحمه الله تعالى. Says مذهب مالك رحمه الله تحصيل لأن البطول المختلفة تخلو the different years either be continuous. That means you cut it and it grows. You cut and it grows back. And sometimes you need one season or one period. Like you cut it in the winter, and then the autumn come, and then the summer will grow up. That means twice a year. So you need the whole season in order for this to grow. So, but some like a barley, for example, you cut the barley, and I'm doing that because I have experience with that, because I used to be a farmer one day back home. So you cut it, and it will grow back within days. So you cut it again, and you feed the animals, and it grows back. Subhanallah. So what about the growing? That means consecutive or continuous. There is no period of time or no season. And sometimes it's not la tattasil. That means it's not connected. It's not together. What is the deal for that? Imam Malik, he makes it very specific. قال فإن لم تتصل, that means you need like the whole season or the whole period in the middle between the one period, but one ripe, and that is just like the fig, for example. The fig, some fig you have it once a year, and some fig you have it twice a year. But in between, once you pick it up from the tree, and another time you need the whole season, by the way. The whole season in order to grow a new fig. And as the example here in your book also, say كشجرة التين, just like the fig tree, He said فإن لم يكن بيع ما لم يخلق منها داخلا في مما خلق. And this is very clear. So you sell it in the first season, the first period, and you sell it, and that's it. Okay. The second period, he said you cannot sell it because something is not created yet. You cannot create it yet. Some people, they buy the whole season, that means the whole entire year, but we say that is not accepted according to Imam Malik, and that is true. He said, you sell what is growing this year, you're growing this period, this season, astaghfirullah, this season, but you're not selling what is sells for the next season. This season, we can see it, is a visible touch, you taste it, is ripe. And now you take everything from the tree. It's going to grow again. But you need the whole period. Maybe that period become like a drought season. Maybe there is no rain. Maybe it's going to be dry. Maybe the tree will die. Some other things. That means something is not created yet, as we discussed last week. You cannot sell, according to Imam Malik rahimahullah. And believe it or not, according to many of the scholars too. ثم إن اتصلت, if there is continuous like the barley, as I said, فلا يخلو أن تتميز البطون أو لا تتميز. See, if this is continuous, they can in 1 year, like a barley, for example, is be distinguished, the same, like the first time you cut it, it will be growing the same or not the same. Some barley will be the same, a few weeks will be growing up again and growing up again. Same thing. But some is not. There will be the quality will be less. The quality will be less. He said, Imam Malik, ثم إن اتصلت, if this continuous, consequence, say, فلا يخلو to be distinguished with the same quality or not the same quality. فمثال المتميز جز القصيل, قصيل that means the barley, when you cut the barley, you just do مدة بعد مدة, ومثال say just time after time. So time after time you cut it, this will be, will be distinguished, it will be the same. But some of the vegetable, like me, for example, the watermelon, the cucumber, the eggplant, it has here in your book, the pumpkins, all this you cut it, but the second season is not going to be the same quality. It's not going to be same quality. What does that mean? Say, is to sell it in the same time, just the way you sell it the second time? Of course not. It has to be distinguished. It has to be distinguished, and I have to know what I'm buying, what exactly I'm buying. All right. So, and also the author says لا يجوز بيع بطن منها بشرط بطن آخر. And also there's also here a very nice point the author mentioned. Say to buy this year or whatever merchandise I have or vegetable or fruits I buy in order to buy next season. You cannot make this kind of condition. Again, let me repeat myself what the author said. لا يجوز بيع بطن منها بشرط بطن آخر. Meaning, he said, to buy right now whatever I see ripe already in order on a condition, he said, in a condition to buy next season. Why? This means to buy in one contract, and that is not accepted. Say لا يجوز, that means is not accepted, is prohibited, is not permitted to buy this kind of season in order to buy the second season, to put in a condition, not in order, in a condition to buy the second season. That's not accepted. When you have the second season, you have a new contract. When you have the second season and you see it in front of your eyes, some of them ripe or created, then I buy it. Otherwise, is not accepted. Otherwise, is not accepted, as our author said. And of course, it is. I have many proof with that. The hadith we discussed it on last week. وأما الجمهور, he said أما الجمهور, the majority of the scholars, فإذا هذا كله عندهم من بيع ما لم يخلق. As a scared, I mentioned that is the what you're buying, something is not created yet. You cannot say. ومن باب النهي عن بيع الثمار معاومة. That means next year and next year. To buy in this year, I'll buy next year. I have put a condition to buy next year, but you never know next year. Maybe you'll die yourself. So you never know. So you do not put this kind of conditions in the contract. All right. Of course, the author, he brought some the turnips and the carrots and the cabbage. So it has to be one by. Let's say I want you to read that, inshallah. In more, you know, it brought more vegetables and more fruits. And more fruit, this, you know, what kind of fruit, what kind of vegetables is good to know about this. The last one, I think, before the last, no, not the last, is about the nuts and almonds. Alhamdulillah. The nuts and the almonds and the full, what's called it, the fava beans. Sometimes it is, some people, they buy it in the shell, and some people, you go to the supermarket, sometimes you buy it without the shell. Is it with the shell or without the shell? Okay, so فمن هذا الباب بيع الجوز واللوز والبقلة في قشره أجازه مالك ومنعه الشافعي. الإمام مالك رحمه الله تعالى, and believe it or not, you can add also Imam Malik and Abu Hanifa and Ahmed. So we have three Imams رحمه الله تعالى. They say it's okay to buy it in the shells, covered with the shells. But the Imam Shafi'i said, no, you have to take it out of the shell, not of the shell. But what is, and they said this, سبب في اختلافهم, the reason of this agreement regarding this, هو الغرر المؤثر في البيوع. There is a غرر, or lacking of knowing what kind of sales or not. There is a lacking of sales, or deceiving the people or not. In reality, no. In reality, no. Imam al-Shafi'i said you have to take it out, maybe because it become like rotten. Imam al-Shafi'i said maybe becoming the shell, but still become rotten. But the majority of the people, they know exactly this kind of sales and this kind of merchandise. Say no, it will never become rotten. You know, whatever it is out or in, either in the shell or without the shell, is the same. It's not going to, in fact, will become inside the shell. It will be kept more actually secure. That's why the three imams, they say it's okay to buy the nuts and the almonds and the fool. It's okay to buy it with the shell, within the shell. So it is not gharar. It is not gharar. Also, he mentioned also, and please give me your attention what he's saying. I don't know what is in English book. Said to بيع السمك في السمك.
Teach the people the truth about Islam, the misconceptions that confuse their minds. Oh humanity, Islam is not new. It's the faith of all the prophets too. Let's work together in the path of truth and come to common terms, don't be